Hello Mersey Beat lovers.
Good afternoon.
And today we're at Rufford Holdall in Lancashire for the annual Scarecrow Scarecrow Festival. Now, this is interesting, viewers, because Catherine's been doing a bit of research on the Scarecrow. So, what have you found out, Catherine?
Okay, found out that the Scarecrow festivals in Britain are go back to time immemorial. Can't give you a date. And in the 1300s or before, sort of 12th century, bird scarers used to be children, mainly boys, called bird scarers and bird shooers.
Yeah.
And they would be placed in the fields with a bag of stones, flailing arms, their own arms, and they would be there from dawn till dusk. And they would spend their whole day just scaring crows and starlings to keep them off all the crops in the field. And then apparently in 1348, I researched, during the Great Plague that swept right throughout Britain, a lot of the population was lost, so half the population were decimated, so there was no bird scarers, so farmers had to resort to making their own, and that's where the Scarecrow evolved from in Britain, which tended to be made out of a sack stuffed with hay, probably, you know, bedding hay or for the cows, cattle or whatever. And then they used to carve faces out of turnips or gourds, and then they'd stack them in the field on a pole, and that would do the job. Now that went on for a while until the population built up again, and then this practice though reverted back to the children going back into the fields and becoming again the official bird scarers, and that went on till the 1800s. And then the kids were sent down the mines and the factories, so there was no further bird scarers again, so they had to resort back to that practice of creating a scarecrow.
Yeah.
And it carried on since.
And then they made the film The Wizard of Oz, and the rest is history.
Yes, indeed. Take place all over the UK. Summer months mainly, May, June, July, but some places like to hold them in autumn because obviously it's harvesting time.
Oh yes.
So it's, you know, that replenishing, that giving back, that hoping for a better crop in the spring.
And wasn't it a beautiful journey coming from Liverpool to
it's gorgeous.
To
just
Rufford.
Fields and fields of brassicas and leeks and just a tapestry of vegetables, really. We were thinking how beautiful it'd look from like an aerial shot.
Yeah, it's incredible, wasn't it?
A tapestry landscape.
To see all them vegetables, the
Gorgeous.
Fields of leeks and broccoli
all the different
and
type of kale and calabres and from greens
winter
to
cabbage,
purples
all kinds
to
all
almost
the different
blue.
colours. It's
so
incredible,
beautiful.
isn't it? It's a great time to come to Lancashire, isn't it, and experience
it's
this
a lovely county, Lancashire.
Rufford Old Hall. We'll go and walk around the garden and find some more scarecrows. And we'll tell you a bit about the history of the place as we go. Hey, guess who this is?
Oh, might you know, Beatrix Potter.
It's Beatrix Potter. The lovely Beatrix Potter.
Oh, it's quite nice, that.
Nicely situated. Scarecrow festivals are great for the kids, aren't they?
I think they're great for adults as well.
I think they are.
It's quite nice,
Isn't it? So what's the theme of this?
It's based on influential females, isn't it, really? Throughout the ages, from history to modern day,
yes.
I suppose. Which is a nice theme to run with.
It is, isn't it?
It's good.
Fascinating place, Rufford Old Hall. It dates from various times. The brick building in front of us there dates from 1662, whereas the old bit here, the Tudor bit, this is the oldest part of and the Great Hall, oldest part of the building, dates from about 1400s, and it's said that William Shakespeare played here in the Great Hall. He was with a touring troupe of people known as the King's Men, his troupe, and he played there in the 1500s. And there's great precedence to say that he did actually play here, because he was a friend of Lord Derby, who was a great patron here, the Knowsley estate. And it's also said that he wrote Midsummer Night's Dream for the wedding of one of Lord Derby's daughters. So, yeah, the fact that William Shakespeare could have played here is very plausible. Also, down the road, only about 12 miles from here, was built the very first purpose-built theatre outside of London, about 12 miles. In my hometown of Prescott was the Prescott Playhouse, and it's you know, it's called the Shakespeare of the North Theatre. It's going to be built there in a few years' time. So that's an interesting fact about Rufford Old Hall. Kitchen garden scarecrow. A lady gardener.
It's all about influential women figures.
Is it?
Yeah.
So, tiny kitchen garden at Rufford, but they've got a lovely orchard over there where they're selling apples actually as you come in. Raised beds, raised bed gardening, cuts down on all the labour and work.
A big kitchen garden here, has it really?
No. Oh, this way. Is it this way? Yeah. Yeah. Well, something was going on here. So here's the orchard. And there's a nice handy plaque to tell you what's growing on the trees. There's still a few apples on the trees. Duke of Devonshire. Oh, Duke of Devonshire. Let's walk down Church Walk. This was the main...
Tell us a bit about this.
This walk was the main processional route into Rufford Hall. So it's the place where carriages would come down. Carriages would come down here from the gates at the bottom.
Oh, right.
And every Sunday a carriage would pick up members of the Hesketh family from the hall there every Sunday morning, and they would come down here in their pony and trap, or as they're known by Charlotte Bronte, the fly,
Catching the fly, yeah.
Catching the fly. And they would come down here and go to the church that is situated at the end of this drive.
Of course, yeah.
And that's why it's called Church Walk. So we'll go down to the bottom of Church Walk and you can get a glimpse of the history of this place and imagine a horse and trap or two trotting on down here in the 1850s or so. There's a bit of an allotment at the side there, just noticed that. Bit of an allotment. Well, it might be someone's back garden. It probably is someone's back garden actually. Never mind. Quite sure what I've forgotten what the church is called. I did research it when we first came here, but isn't that very convenient to have a church at the end of your drive?
Don't you think they could have just walked down?
They were aristocracy, Kath. Aristocracy never walk.
Of course, dear. No, they just ride horses, don't they?
So there you go, Church Walk. And I suppose the gates back then would have been more ornate and showy than they are today. Yeah, reconstructing history when you go to old places. That's fun. Are you telling me, Kath?
About Sir Robert Hesketh?
Yes.
Oh, he was born illegitimately.
So he was a bastard, basically?
Well, technically, yeah.
Okay. He was a bastard.
But,
he was born out of wedlock.
Yeah. But, obviously became part of the aristocracy reign.
Yeah.
And this house remained in their family for 500 years.
Wow.
Which is interesting about Rufford, really.
And this path brings us to what is generally thought to be, and I'm convinced it is, the Leeds-Liverpool Canal.
Yeah.
Here.
It is, isn't it?
It is, the Leeds-Liverpool Canal. And if we just look down there are barges down there, that way.
It's a beautiful stretch, this, though.
It runs along here, obviously much later than when the whole hall was built.
Yeah, much all way after.
It came in the early 1800s. Going between Leeds and Liverpool.
He got no heart, his mama forgot that part. He got no heart that I know of. He remind me of an old scarecrow. He takes my mind and moves it to and fro. He treats me like...
Now you see, no visit to a National Trust property is complete without a cream tea and a cup of coffee in this case.
Normally you would have tea.
Normally we'd have two, but coffee in this case. And a scone. So I hope you've enjoyed this vlog, and if you have, then please subscribe or like it, or got any comments, love to hear them. And from Phil and Kat, it's bye for now.
That's fine. No, you can do yours. Just
bye for now. Bye for now. Bye for now.
Oh, you can feel the temperature dropping though now. It's quite cool, isn't it? It's icy. Nice though.